Good luck with the dream.
Thank you. So, to start us off, I had some questions about Hotel Diablo and the memories that EST have made, since obviously it's one of your most powerful albums, and we're all here to celebrate that album today.
Should I?
So, Hotel Diablo,
I have a question. Should I tweet or something? Like hop on Discord, or are we good?
it's private to anyone who's in this channel, so if they got
Okay,
the
cool.
announcement ping from this, then yeah, but there's still a lot of people here,
Oh,
so
is this the where everyone had to do like the
I'm
13
excited.
floors to get in?
Yeah, this is everyone who made it to the 13 floors. We took submissions, so we have
Oh,
5 people
fire,
from the
fire,
general
fire.
Discord community. Yeah, and then we have 5 of the first people who were
Okay,
able to
amazing.
break
I'm
it
going
successfully.
to step outside so I can be in a little zone, and then I am
Amazing, take
yours.
your time, just let me know.
I will say to everyone in here listening, I know that you guys have set a goal. I see we didn't necessarily beat that goal. However, I can find some middle ground of a reward this week for the very solid attempt. I won't say that it's the result you want, but it's a nice middle ground.
Take anything.
And yeah. Also, Madison, can you turn your speaker up more? Or can you turn your microphone up louder?
Yeah, sorry, let me check that quick. I was glitching out before, so I might have done something. Is this a little better?
You know what? Not really, but I will just put the phone to my ear.
Alright.
Yep.
To kind of get us in the Hotel Diablo mood. So, Hotel Diablo obviously came during a difficult time for you when you really started getting your first real mainstream hate, but it was also the second project you released during that hate wave, coming after Binge. So, something I've
Right.
thought about regarding Binge versus Hotel is that Binge almost got the pressure and spotlight attention off, so then you could be more yourself on Hotel Diablo for the people who cared to listen for you rather than the buzz around it. So, I wanted to ask, did creating Binge and Hotel Diablo feel different for you even though they were back to back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, immensely different. Obviously, I wish, in hindsight, that Hotel Diablo would have been the first thing people had heard from me after that
Sure.
whole situation. I also don't think I ever do anything with like clout in mind or like how can I capitalize off of this situation. So I stay true to the form of um, authenticity and never really trying to capitalize off of something that feels like opportunistic in a clout, kind of way. Um, everything I do is like very true to form, especially when it comes to hip hop like that. I think the audience sees when things are, um, like done for a reason other than, the storytelling or the, I don't know, the love of music. And the one thing I will say about Binge is like, it was very ahead of its time when I listened to the sound of from the 2020s on. Like it was very like much the sound that when I go out or I'm in clubs or some of my homies that that are my peers that make music, I'm like, oh, this sound, the production, the type of like cadence flows on there, like it to me is very, like much what Binge was. I also like, I was a street kid. I feel like a huge part of my inspirations come from street artists. I can't say that my fan base
Mm.
is a street fan base, so it's not all of those type of vibes I was really expecting my fans to get. I kind of was also just like, I mean, it was called Binge because I was just clearly just high out of my mind and just making tracks to make tracks. I didn't really like think of a through line for it. Also, it was an EP, not an album, so I wasn't really putting too much
Yeah.
pressure on it. I just kind of wanted the music to come out. But Hotel Diablo was like absolutely, it was a house that we rented, and everything was coming there. All the producers were coming there. All the artists were coming there, and it's just like my proudest piece of work as far as a hip hop album goes. And, that was like the first time
Mm.
I feel like my voice became my voice. Like when I listen to Hotel Diablo, my voice sounds very much like my voice does now. Um, it
Sure.
was almost like I went through puberty in my late 20s.
I
Because
love that. You
you
can
know, like
really
when you
hear
go through
someone.
puberty and your voice like is supposed to
Yeah.
become your voice for I like apparently I had two puberties. Like
Yeah.
my man, so with binge though, I was saying like binge, I also kind of like had tapped into like the tone of my voice that was starting to become what how I began delivering things. But um, divine timing is everything, and I think my frequency of where I was at uh mentally when binge came out just didn't align with the universe. Even though like to me, I listened back and like sonically, that's like I love listening to that type of shit. So I thought it was. I also think um you have to be aligned for things to work out, like how take us to my downfall, everything was clearly aligned, like there was like an entire like universal alley oop for that to be a successful album. um
Sure.
and Hotel Diablo, sometimes the best the best kept secrets, when you find them, are like reward you the most. So for those like for the new fans who maybe get to discover Hotel Diablo now, or even in 5 years from now, or a year from now, like that just happens to be one of those like diamonds in the rough where maybe it wasn't the biggest, even though I wish it was. I wish when it had come out that it was, given the critical acclaim that it deserved, or the mainstream spotlight that it, in my opinion, an album like that should have got. But when you do discover it, that one, it rewards you nicely. It's a really, really great listen. But sorry, that was a long-winded answer. What's the next one?
We love
Also, someone
long-winded.
tried to fucking rob my house in the middle of that whole entire interview, so I apologize for the
No, you're good. It's what you
what
being
a
okay
what
is
a
what we care
random
about.
Sunday.
Well, you got EST still. We're always gonna be back behind you, so. Alright, and mods let me know that also if you try turning your speaker on, unless you have AirPods, you might be able to hear the call better.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. Good.
Okay. Okay, it might
Yeah.
have been my mic acting up then. Alright, so then my second question is that the Hotel Diablo album has become so special to so many fans, most of which are here, of course, because of how vulnerable it is, and it really shows people that they're not alone. Personally, it's gotten me through a lot of hard times, so thank you on behalf of EST and all of us for putting so much of yourself into it. So what has it been like for you over the past 5 years to see how much this album changed not only your life, but the lives of so many fans?
Hmm. Well, it gave me a level of confidence. I think like you always want to walk around feeling like you've made an album you can be proud of, and I love all my other albums. I think like this one I just love more. I think there was like a really proper world build around it. I feel also like it was the most um front to back cohesive piece of work that I had made, because it really started and ended like a book. Like there was a beginning, middle, and end, and there was an arc. There was antagonist. There was a protagonist. It was just a for whatever reason it flowed like a good read. So um it gave me a level of confidence to be able to walk around feeling like I had contributed something great to the art world, and music world. And with fans, I just saw it reminds me Hotel Diablo is still inspiring me right now based off of just how the fans react to it because even now um I'm seeing people go. I was listening to this podcast the other day and they were talking about when I was in Nashville and this girl was like, "Oh yeah, I really like it." She was like, "I like MGK." And then she's like, "Oh, wait, I like MGK's music. I don't really know anything about MGK, but I like his music." And um I don't think she had heard Hotel Diablo. I'm assuming she's talking about, maybe a couple of singles that I've had recently that she liked or whatever. Um, but if you listen to Hotel Diablo, you can really hear who I am. Like you can hear my heart, you can hear my soul, and I think like it help make you understand the person more. And so, maybe it's time for me to take like Diablo of just music form and kind of like speak on that by doing interviews and podcasts, which I haven't done in 4 years. So I think maybe it's time for me to introduce people, even the people on this call, and fans who have known me for a long time, who maybe I've only given like short form content to. Like it's time for like long form information and conversation from me to really let people in on like who I am. I think that's a comment a lot of my friends make is just like, man, I wish people could know the you that we know. And
Exactly.
Hotel Diablo was like my music form of that. Now it's kind of. And also too, like it was just so fun to be inspired, like to see people pushing me for this 5 year because I think leading up to it, we were just kind of like, we'll just release like honestly, the only thing we were going to put on there was like Floor 13 Live and the sad version of Glass House and sad version of I Think I'm Okay. And then I just saw like the fans like pushing for um a sequel of something. And so I had to choose what it would be. I know they were thinking Breaking News 2, but I was just thinking El Diablo, right? Like I was like, oh, this
Mhm.
needs a part 2. And I recorded that like a couple days ago. Like that came I recorded that
Yeah.
what maybe it was like I don't remember what it was. It was like a week before the deluxe. I was like I'm gonna dust off the mic and drop El Diablo part 2 and I like I did that strictly because of their energy towards this anniversary. So and to be honest, I feel like that's like my best rapping I've done in years.
Sure, I mean, EST, like, all through the chat while you were off, we asked what the favorite song was, and everyone was saying Pistolero, and I feel like part of it is that it's almost current you looking back at old you, and we kind of get into that with some of the questions later, but it's almost like revisiting that headspace, but also showing the growth, like, technically and personally that you had, which is really
For
powerful.
sure. I think my best like that was a great indication of the fact that like my best music is definitely to come because technically
Mm.
the technicality of the delivery I was doing on there tops any um tops any the rap song that I think I've ever done.
So it's like now that you have the clearer headspace and you've like moved past from that chapter in a way, it's like you have like the precision now to go back and like, okay, this happened, but now I'm in a different space now in a way.
Exactly, and I think my favorite thing to do, clearly, if for anyone who's followed my journey, is just to continue adding nicknames. I have so many AKAs at this point that I just needed one more nickname. El Pistolero was a
Same.
nice addition. It's like I think I have like 6 or 7 or 8 AKAs at this point.
Forget about Machinery Gunner Kelly Clarkson, one of my
Oh, that
personal
one's
favorites
so good.
online.
That's like an honorary one.
That's like the gold star of any MGK nickname.
Yeah, yeah. The memes take me out every time, dude. They're so good.
No, especially coming from fans, like we really have one of the best like families, fan bases.
I really do.
Now,
Oh my
speaking of fan
god, your
bases,
fucking name is so funny. It's Madison, not Love. That's so funny.
thank you. Wasteland's one of
Um,
my favorites, so I was like, okay, might as well.
yeah, I have a question. If you guys want to shoot me some suggestions on Twitter, I was gonna do a cut up of that Hotel Diablo live. Um, of the Hotel Diablo live. Hotel Diablo live. One that we just dropped on YouTube today. I was gonna do like a cut down of the songs. Like, do you guys have a suggestion of what song I should cut up to post? I was either feeling Waste Love or Death in My Pocket. But if you guys just want to shoot me some tweets, I'll check that out while I'm drinking my coffee and settling down.
Voices. So I'm
Do you know
down
what
for
I'm
either.
saying? Like if like just like a good part of
Yeah,
that concert to cut down to post.
for sure. So I'll let EST kind of go on Twitter and do what we do best. And so next we have some questions from the first 5 Discord members who completed the Hotel Diablo puzzle. So reminder, if you've been chosen to ask a question, please raise your hand when I call your name and one of our mods will pull you up. And if someone isn't here, I'll ask their question. So let's start with Madison Double X if you're here. Another Madison.
Hey guys,
We'll
can you hear
pull
me?
you.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you're
Hey,
good.
other Madison here. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the mods for putting this whole thing together. Cause that Discord challenge was fucking insane. Don't know how I managed to like get through it first. Some of the questions were so hard, like you had to go through the depths of the internet and watch like old interviews. So thanks guys for putting that together. It was awesome.
I agree.
Um,
I would like to also add in and thank them for that. That was a really sick, like I love the active that we've been doing. Like that was really impressive. And my online uh technical skills are so ass. So I'm just very grateful that yours are not and that you were able to pull something cool like that off because mine would be like, I don't know. We all know that I'm not the best on the internet. I just really watch you all and learn. But great job.
but
Sorry.
yeah,
Have
Sorry.
fun.
Sorry. Go ahead, Madison. Sorry.
no worries. So kind of going off how we were talking about El Pistolero, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but like listening to it for the first time, like I was like gagged at the beginning, and then when it drops, and like just your flow is insane, and like you can tell the progression of like from El Diablo to here, how like I don't know how to like describe it, but like the flow is just so insane. So thinking about it live is already where my mind is going to. And I know not just me, but probably so many people in here are like itching to hear this live and like obviously all the other songs on the deluxe as well. But any plans for anything Hotel Diablo related, like front to back album, shows, tour, anything in the works outside of the two Yeehaw shows in like Wyoming and North Dakota that are planned?
Yeah, I think MGK Day is our target for a full length Hotel Diablo performance, and we just locked something down that's indoors and intimate. It felt, I know that on MGK Day we always do like
Mm-hmm.
the outdoor vibes. It just doesn't feel like an outdoor um album to me to do front to back. It really feels like it should be a lot more contained and focused without like any distractions. So um I pr- probably am not supposed to say, but August 12th, I would say that I'm not saying that Hotel Diablo Live in its entirety back home will probably be in effect. But I'm
Totally.
not
Like
saying but I'm not saying
I
that.
was, my brain immediately went to, I was like House of Blues, something like intimate, like small scale, but like bring you back to the roots too, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
cool. No, lips
Yeah.
are sealed.
And then
um,
obviously I'll take like a 3 minute break before I start El Pistolero so that I can somehow
get your
manage to
breath.
pull off the fast part.
And then kind of wrapping it up, with my FBI skills, putting pieces together, can we expect any upcoming project with Beauty School Dropout? Would love to see you collab with them or even have them open on an upcoming tour.
Yeah, so we just did a really good session. I think what happened with me was that I had a realization of the sound of this new album, and in the vein of world building, like I can't afford to just make songs
Yeah,
without
totally.
without a like a firm
Like a
planet to
home.
belong to. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like Hotel Diablo is clearly like its own planet. Tickets is
Yeah.
its own planet. Mainstream is the other continent on the Tickets planet. Um, this one I would like to be a new planet, right? I don't want it to be another continent on the Hotel Diablo planet or another continent on Tickets planet. So this one has to be its own planet. So I just scrapped every single song that I've done in the past 2 years, I think, except for maybe two. And uh, I got back in the studio with Beauty School as producers and with Slim
Mhm.
and Bays and start kind of curating a new sound that I've been working on with just in my home and in my head. So yeah, the production that they just did kind of really is a good starting point for me for this new album. And I don't think don't be scared off of me scrapping everything. I don't think it'll take too long for me to turn the stuff around. But what I can say in a collaborative sense is that me and Jelly have a monster dropping uh, very, very soon.
Oh, we
Like,
love the word soon.
yeah, I would say like the month that it drops still has a J in it.
Shit. Okay. That's all I have. So thank you so much. I mean, obviously, we're so excited. Um, yeah, I'll pass it over to the next person. But thanks, Kels.
Thank you.
Addison for that. So next up we have Candy. Hopefully they're here. And just a reminder, we want to stick to one question per person just so we have enough time for everyone.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Candy.
Hi. Well, okay, so my question is, well, first of all, Hotel Diablo provides so much comfort and understanding to us, just like you mentioned, a work of art. And obviously, my name is after the song as well, Candy. Well,
Fire.
what were the special moments? What were the special moments that you experienced while you were making it?
You said special moments or fashion moments?
Special moments.
Oh, special, special.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite memories was shooting the uh the album cover. Well, it wasn't an album cover because I guess I shot that when I was what, like I don't know, 3 years old or whenever that baby picture was. But well, we were. I think we were trying to shoot an album cover though, but it's the one where those black and white photos where you see the back of my head and the Hotel Diablo. So that we did a bunch of photos and the photo shoot was up, like the timing was up. And I went to my friend Vincenza who works um for Interscope and works with me on my team. And I was like, you got to we got to pay overtime to keep everybody here. I have an idea. And I took my friend into the trailer and I had my barber shave a square in the back of my head. And then we just tattooed Hotel Diablo, like a little window into the back of my head. And we went back out and like took those photos that ended up being like you know, kind of like the iconic photos from that era where it was just that window was shaved and tattooed into the back of my head. Um, that was I just remember because no one knew what I was doing. I left the entire photo shoot. I went to a trailer and then I came back out and had a shaved square and a brand new tattoo. And I think everyone was like, "What the fuck?" But then I became kind of like the staple of that era. So I loved that. And then probably like the other special moment was doing that album somewhat in full back home in Cleveland where I wore that ketamine button up and touring with Young Thug, like doing that album and watching both of our audiences be super confused at what the fuck was happening was great. Cause, it was in theory, our fan bases are not supposed to mix. So that was, I don't know, so many memories. And then obviously, I think I'm okay, right? Like, I think I'm okay. Kind of like burst open the door for what we are at now. Like it was a bold step into a new direction, and that was, the finishing touch of Hotel Diablo. So that,
Yeah, the tattoo is very iconic, especially as it opens into the I Think I'm Okay, the original music video.
right, right.
It's the opener scene, yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering that. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome, Candy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Candy. So our third question is from Zan, if they're here.
Hey.
Hi.
So I just want to start off by saying thank you so much, like, to all the mods that created this event. It was honestly so much fun. And, like, similar to what Madison said, like, I never really expected to get top 5, let alone 3rd, like, that's crazy to me. But on the discussion of, like, beauty school dropout, those guys are honestly the best, and to see a collab with them would be, like, totally amazing. I know many fans from both sides would really love to see that, so I'm really excited to hear, like, that's gonna be happening.
Absolutely, and those guys rock. And
Yeah, for
Coley's a
real.
really good skater.
Oh, I know, he's awesome. Um, but yeah, my question for you is Hotel Diablo is like my favorite album because of how much it reflects on the real struggles of depression. So like what are some ways you manage mental health like others might find helpful?
Uh, huh. Well, I was very bad at managing mine until recent. Um, you know what was one thing that started becoming interesting to me was taking your shoes off and going out and doing what they call grounding, where you just stick your feet in the grass, take in about 10 minutes of sunlight, and you just kind of literally feed your body, right, the vitamin D that you're getting from the sunlight, but also feed your soul from just the grounding, like connecting with nature. I think
Yeah,
my
I definitely agree
depression
with that.
and my mood swings were so bad that grass and sun was not enough. But I think um, for some of this, I guess like I would talk about on upcoming podcasts. I'm just trying to think of because also it's not like I have obviously um, been through the ringer with like psychiatrists and therapists and all that. I don't really want to like put that on anybody because maybe that was just specific to my journey. But I do really think like the grounding um, was really, really helpful, like, or is continuing to be helpful to me. Uh, and what else? Um, Man, you know what, dude? Just because I have some friends who are like this, where they're just, and I was like this too, where you're just really scared to kind of like speak what's going on in your life.
Oh
But
my god,
just
no, real.
you like it has helped me so much. These like kind of 2 a.m. talks, smoking cigarettes with like my friend Mod, where he'll just come over and we'll sit in my pit and we'll just that actually sounded weird. We'll sit like my conversation is a conversation pit. That's that sounded a little odd. That sounded a
No, you're
little weird.
good.
But
You're good.
we sit in my conversation pit and we just talk and vent for until the sun comes up. And like I really, really, really think that not internalizing um, issues and just voicing them and being vulnerable. It also like encourages other friends to kind of open up and do the same, and then you find those special people that know how to hold space for you and your thoughts and your feelings, and it helps you get a lot off, right? That's essentially too what like a therapist is, right? You just like it's just someone who knows how to hold space for your fucked up traumas, and I would just do just like grounding, getting some sun, also, and then diet, man, not putting all this bullshit that the government wants you to fucking put in your gut so that die early like our parents are, you know what I mean? So like really, really, really just focusing on uh feeding your temple, your body is your temple and taking care of that, like making sure that garden is watered and with the proper uh or just like the gardening system is you're doing it right, right? Sunlight, water, and just good ingredients. So, yeah, diet, grounding, and bitching to your friends so that you don't have to keep it inside and bitch yourself. Bitching with
Yeah,
your
I
friends,
I
not at
definitely feel
not
that.
at your friends. Bitching with your friends, right? Just yeah.
Yeah, honestly. But no, I
Totally would. I was thinking about that already. Like, I was like, why? Yeah, yeah. I think I got this. I got one more album of. I have this album specifically. I have a very locked in vision of what I want. But then why not just like go and sit in a sunny place for an album and just make a really, really vibey summer album? Like it almost must happen. All my albums are such rain clouds. We need some sun in there.
Love that. I mean, we'll take everything. Any sun,
Yeah.
rain clouds, all of it.
Hmm.
And the next question is from Courtney. I'm not positive if she's there. Um, is she?
Yeah, she's here.
Hi, I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, give me 1 second. That just scared the shit out of me. I was like, I've been here this whole time. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. First I just want to say, the I Think I'm Okay video was beautiful. The clip of me in it crying was at that show in Connecticut, and it was when you were performing Lonely. And I lost my dad 6 months exactly after you lost yours, and that night it was just the music, you and me, and I just want to say how grateful I am for that.
Dude,
um
hell yeah. I remember
yeah,
was it the casino show?
no, that was AC. It was the Connecticut one after you had the after party.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But my question for you is that I would love to know how it was re-recording some of these songs off of Hotel Diablo now, being in a better, positive, healing headspace, which, by the way, I'm so proud of you for, and I'm sure we all are, than it was back then. And was it just as hard now, or is it different?
I think now I was just really uh I don't know, focused on like I was I was more focused on the song. You know what I was thinking actually the whole time I was recording them, like especially like Glass House and I Think I'm Okay. I was really just like so grateful to both Naomi and to Youngblood and to anyone who had anything to do with those records. I was just kind of like sitting in awe of those records and just being really happy that um they existed to even do these versions. And also, the sad versions of both of those songs were recorded back when we actually did the song. So there was almost already like a vision of this album will be worth it enough to bring, to reshine some light on it. So those
Yeah.
already existed. We just kind of like spruced them up a little bit. Naomi's vocals were from 2019 on the sad version. Youngblood's vocals were the exact same as it was in 2019 when I had leaked that video of him, singing it. Um, and again, you guys like pushed us to like release those because I would see that video of Youngblood popping up on my Twitter all the time, and everyone was like, "Where the fuck is this promised version?" And like that. It's
Yeah.
just it's so fun, like such an interactive like relationship that we all have where you guys really remind me of things and to do things. And so I was more just like the El Pistolero song kind of took the cake for me
Which
where I
is
was like,
fire.
I'm
Fire,
gonna I'm gonna
by the way.
lock in and I'm gonna give these fools exactly what the fuck they want. And like I said, I know you guys had set the goal for 1 million views in a day on the sad version video. It's understandable why it's why that's kind of a difficult goal because you know uh it's a song that already exists, so like the excitement is of course like, oh, this is, the core gets their version, but you're still dealing with the rest. You still need the help from the rest of the world, so it's maybe a little less exciting if it's not a brand new song. So I'm gonna give everyone a second chance and drop a El Pistolero music video that
Dude,
will
it's
blow your fucking wigs
fire.
back, and we gotta just see what you guys do with that. But I do, I think you guys really, came together, and the numbers were definitely impressive. So I can't promise a breaking news too because the deal was the deal, but we can meet in the middle and do a El Pistolero music video and make that shit super epic.
Yeah, I think everyone will pop that the fuck off. That song is absolutely insane. My jaw was dropped the entire time when that shit got released at midnight. And you never left. You never left. And the haters could say what they want to say. And EST's got your back for fucking life, dude. Just remember that.
Fuck yeah, thank you. I got
Absolutely.
y'all's back.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Courtney. Kels, do you know how much longer you have? So we have like a few more questions. So whichever.
Oh no, I'm good. Yeah.
So then let's get into some of our community submissions and see how many we can get in. So thank you so much to our Floor 13 winners for those questions. Next, we have some questions from more community members who completed the Hotel Diablo challenge. And our first question is from Dr. Skeets. Sorry if I'm butchering that.
That's fucking
Yo, what's up,
hilarious.
Wilson? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I say, yeah, it's Dr. Skits. So grateful to be included in the Q&A. It's really awesome. Your music has really inspired my own writing, and the way that I relate to Hotel Diablo has changed over the years as I've changed. So my question was, looking back at the tracks in the album, which song do you still relate to the most now that time has passed and you've changed, in comparison to a song you feel you don't really relate to as much anymore?
I mean, Burning Memories was like a hard song to leave on there for the 5-year anniversary. I don't really, now that I've like learned so much more information about my past, like that was like that was a difficult one for me to leave on. Like I said, like had to maintain the authenticity of the project as a whole, and that was a really important chapter in that album. The one I still relate to the most, I mean, obviously I'm like Jekyll and Hyde with the bipolarity of who I am as a person, so I would say El Diablo is certainly a side that, comes out um when it needs to. But Death in My Pocket was always kind of my favorite song, and a song that I relate to a lot, especially, even on a day like today, where today was the day that my aunt passed away. 3 days after, this is 3 days later after my father's death date also. And I kind of always keep like the losses that kind of define who I am. Like I always keep those close to me, and I reflect a lot all the time, and I always feel like there's some form of the Grim Reaper always kind of like keeping an eye on me. Um, like I'm always one step away from making the wrong decision. So I try to, I would say that song seems very relevant to me all the time. And I think it's also relevant just because my past is like such a, it's such a definition of who I am. Like it's so prominent in my attitude and my development. So Death in My Pocket always. And I feel like that was a really slept on one. So, I kind of always like to give like the B-sides the shine.
That and the meaning always really shines through with like the B-sides, especially like you said.
Yeah, man. Waste
Then
Love deserved better.
I loved Waste Love. Like I will always fight
Yeah,
for that song.
yeah.
Right. And then
I
is that whiskey?
internally
I
I
have to
fight for
ask for
Waste Love
chat.
too. That one deserved more, but it's all right. It's the little the child who, I don't know what you call it. It's the
For us,
forgotten child, but
for
man, my
sure, for
cat
sure.
is
And
just
then I have to
going.
ask for chat.
My cat's going ape shit in the background.
Oh, well, we
No
love
one
the
mind that.
cats. We love you. And then next we have a question from Brit0704.
All right, hello, we good?
We're good.
Okay, 1 second. Let me change my audio input because for some reason it switched. Okay, hello?
Hell no.
Okay. First off, I just want to say, just like everybody else, thank you to the mods for this amazing opportunity. Thank you, Kels, for being here. This is amazing and truly, truly grateful to be here. Um, my question is, so seeing that like 5 years has passed since the album, experiences, things that you've been through, what would MGK slash Colson say to the MGK slash Colson that dropped the album, seeing that you said that you might not relate to all the songs or that, things have changed and things that you have been through since then?
I don't hide from any mistakes I've made. I own up to that all the time, and I'm totally fine to stand on that. I think Burning Memories was just specifically rough for me because it was talking about my mom in a way that I don't think I've expressed myself enough. I don't need to double down on that. And at the end of the day, like our relationship has really developed immensely, and it's just tough to you know it's got to be tough as a mom to hear that kind of internal dialogue being spoken outward about her. So I to me, I'm like a man of empathy, and I've grown a lot since then, and that one, it just kind of like hurts me to know that it hurts my mom to hear that. So um but like I said, like she's aware that you know i I have to stay true to what is real to me and what the art is. And um the what was the question again? Sorry, the it was, what would I say to
So
my
what
younger
would
self?
Yeah, the you that made Hotel Diablo back then.
I would definitely say, like, stop doing cocaine.
Solid advice.
Yeah, that was a joke. It's hard when there's not like an audience to laugh, but also
Laugh
true.
then.
Uh, um, I, yeah, I mean, what else? I really wouldn't say much. Like, I think not to MGK who made Hotel Diablo. Like, whatever headspace I was in, like it was turning out very, truthful raps that were reflecting exactly how I was feeling. And so, while my body wasn't healthy and my mind wasn't healthy, when it comes to the art, like I don't give a fuck, I guess. Like at that point I would have been ready to die as long as the product was true to was like as true as it can be. I think like that might have been like a piece of advice I would give, would be like, hey, like maybe you don't have to fully kill yourself to make a good piece of art. But I didn't die. I'm still here. All good. And yeah, I think, what one thing was, I don't know if I would have kind of been like, hey, try to have more fun with this. I think I was like, I know, under a lot of pressure, and, probably made the work environment not as pleasant for everybody else, because I, was coming off of all of the stress of the situation that had happened prior, which, if we all go through the timeline, it's pretty obvious what that was. So just kind of I was really wanting to make a piece of work that would be appreciated, which ironically it didn't happen outside of our fan base. But I've watched it grow. I've watched it. I've watched the respect for that album grow constantly. Like I said, it's a diamond in the rough, so more and more people are finding it. It's like a chest in Fortnite. It's just
Yeah.
more and more people are going to the location where that chest is and opening it up and seeing that it has all the best guns.
And it's like you find it when you need it in a way. Like you can always go
Definitely,
back to it and then rediscover it.
definitely. That's my, like, that's the solace I have with that album, is that, like, I know it will always be relevant to somebody somewhere. So I know that there will always be a moment when it presents itself. And yeah, I mean, hopefully even this 5 year right now, I really do hope that it finds more people. Hopefully, the new fans who are tuned in now are like getting to go back and hear it. And I'm going to continue to figure out ways to push it. I'm really bad at the internet, and I don't, I kind of just need you guys' help on what to do. Um, but yeah,
Sure,
we'll
we
start
can
with
find
this.
time, me and you were talking.
Yeah, for sure. I think like we're set up for a really good. It's a really good month right now. And like I said, the song with Jelly that's coming out is like anytime I'm really proud of something, it always does well. And this is having this is almost mirroring how I was feeling when Tickets was coming out, which means that we have a really really fun album cycle about to come in, and Hotel Diablo is kind of breaking the ice for that to start.
Excited for that. So then our
Yes.
next question is from Rach, who I'm not sure if she's here. I think she might be.
Hello.
What up?
Hey. I know you've been getting so much praise today, but I'm just gonna keep telling you because you deserve to hear it. I'm like wicked proud of you. I've been rocking with you since Hotel Diablo drops. Like that's kind of what got me into you. So I'm super thankful. So I'm curious what your creative process was like to write El Pistolero, considering it is a part two to a 5-year-old song.
Hmm. What? One second, guys. This sounds really weird. I'm just whipping up eggs. 1 second. Hold on. I know it almost sounds inappropriate. Hold on.
You're good. Enjoy your eggs.
No, I'm making French toast, but you need the eggs for the French toast.
I'm not a French toast girl.
You haven't had my French toast.
No, I like
Um,
pancakes.
you know what? Let me ask my colleague real quick what I was doing with El Pistolero. What was it? I was hold on. Okay, I remember we were in the I don't know. This is so weird because this was like 7 days ago, so I don't know why my memory is shitting itself. I do remember I had Ronnie J do like I told him we were doing an El Diablo 2, and he was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And so he like whipped up, probably 10 different versions of a possible El Diablo, sequel beat, because I was like, we should stay true
Mhm.
to bringing like we should stay true to the horns and that kind of that whole shit. Um, so he did like 10 different versions of the beat. I remember on the way to the studio, I was listening to all of them, and the one that exists, we were all the one that I chose is the one that's in the beat, and we were all like, oh yeah, this is the fucking one, absolutely. Um,
Mhm.
and so I was driving to the studio. I got there, we loaded the beat up, and I just remember as soon as I did the do 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 do, like everyone was like, what the fuck? And then I just started going off, like I was freestyling all that shit, and then so the first verse was done. I left the studio. I was kind of like, I was like, it's okay. I don't know if like the fans are gonna be like, it was 5 years worth it. Okay, so I was like, what can I do to really make them freak the fuck out? And I was like, I should rap fast. And um, I was in the car. I told Slim, I was like, yo, slow the beat down. I was like, chop the beat so it like slows all the way down. Um, and then he sent me that version where like the beat was just completely like chopped or was like screwed or whatever. And so I kept playing that, and then I wrote the fast that fast rap, and I just remember we did that one in my house. Like we did the fast rap part of my house, and I remember like Slim and my engineer Sean, as soon as I started doing the fast rapping part, they were like, "Holy shit!" Because obviously, Slim's been with me since day one. So if I do anything kind of like reminiscent of like what we used to do, he always kind of like trips out. So I remember I started doing the fast rap, and the studio kind of just stopped and was like, "What the fuck? You're on one right now." And the original version of the fast rap had some pretty specific jabs towards specific artists, I guess you could say. And I ended up just taking those out because I didn't really want anything to take away from the shine of the actual song. You know, the song itself is so good. I didn't want, you know, 2 or 3 lines to take away from the rest of it. So, you know, I'm happy I made that decision. And yeah, El Pistolero music video coming soon. If you guys don't run
Love
that up
that.
though, if you guys don't run those numbers up though, I'm gonna make a fucking jazz album, okay?
To you, we have to do it. It was worth 5 years. So next up is Ethan Watkins, if he's here. Right here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Fire. Let's do it. Let me change my audio. It just went down. All right. What's up, man?
What's
Thanks
good,
for doing
dog?
this for us. Did it. My name's Ethan. My question is, the features off Hotel Diablo are amazing. Like every song has the perfect feature that has one. How did you decide which artists to work with? And do you have any memorable moments from those sessions?
Friendship. I only really do collabs with friends, like people who I have like, you know, real life moments with. That it's really hard for me to do like the political collaborations. Um so especially with an album like that. So everybody who was on that was with me in the studio. They came to my house. You know, me and Trippy, we would kick it heavy at the crib. So when we did Candy, you know, Little Skies, I'll never forget. He pulled up to my house. He was kind of like, he was, he was kind of like, man, I never really like kick it with artists. Everyone's acts so funny, and I was like, dude, I'm a real one, dude. I'm just Midwest kid. Fucking, I got mad love for you. Come through. We'll kick it. He came over. Um, you know, we drank together, and I recorded him, just me and him in the studio. Uh, while we were on this interview, Slim just came over and dropped off a bunch of footage from his cell phone of when we were recording Hotel Diablo. So maybe I'll post some of that this week. It's really funny footage. Same with Youngblood too. You know, like I remember I DM'd Youngblood. I was like, if you're gonna be in America soon, like you should come over to the house. And I gave him my address. And one day, he just popped into my crib, and Dub and all the homies were sitting on the couch, and I was in the studio. So like this fucking, you know, loud British dude walked into my house, and the homies were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And they brought him in my studio, and they were like, "Is he here for you or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah." We ended up doing I Think I'm Okay that day, and then I drove it over to Travis. Um, who else? Like Fem and Naomi. You know, Naomi and I became friends because of Glass House. Uh, Fem, you know, fucking, she's such a great hook writer. And knows how to use her voice in like these really funky ways. Um, I don't know who else is on that. I'm trying to think of who else is on that album. But yeah, I mean, dude, just friendship. Like anyone who was on Hotel Diablo is a homie, and we're still homies.
It definitely like shines through on the songs. Like the connection between you two makes it so much more engaging.
I agree.
And then so our last question in this section is from JCB.5150. Some 5150 love. We love that.
Straight up.
Are they here? This is unfortunately our last question, but okay, he's not here, so I'm gonna read that off for him. So, or them. So you mentioned you scrapped an entire
they're
album
here,
before
they're here.
Hotel D.
Wait,
Oh hell yeah, 5150, come on through.
They did request to speak. They only need to accept. But if they cannot accept, then we'll have to read it for them, unfortunately. Yeah, I think you're good to read it.
Are you guys hearing this fucking
So
French toast sizzling over here? I'm over here snapping on some Emerald Chef fucking Michelin shit. I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm murdering
Absolutely.
over here. Okay, continue though.
Post it on
Sorry.
your story.
Hold on. Listen to this.
So
Everyone listen.
you
Everyone listen
mentioned
to this. Ooh, ASMR. Okay, go
It's
ahead.
not.
Can you?
It's not picking up. Just
Oh, you can't.
imagine sizzling.
Oh, you can't hear the sizzling.
No, we'll just imagine
no,
it.
it
We'll just
cancels
imagine
out.
it.
Oh. Okay, go ahead though.
Okay, first, you have to show us the French toast later. We would love to see it. And then,
All
so the
right.
actual question, you mentioned you scrapped an entire album before Hotel Diablo. So how different was that from Hotel Diablo, and what changes did you make compared to the final album?
Well, let's all just reflect on the terrible original name of Hotel Diablo, which was going to be Delirium, which is the stupidest name of all time for an album. So let's just thank my daughter for being like, "Hey, Dad, that album name sucks." That was a really good move. What was the album? And you know what? I think the album before was sounding a lot more like Binge, where it was just kind of like it was more druggy raps, like obviously, like saying some cool punchlines, etc. But the narration of a story was just lacking. Um, so obviously, too, I like I said, there's a lot of street elements to me, and a lot of elements to me where the people that I hang around and the neighborhoods that I hang in and where I come from, like street music was a very big part of my come up, and especially in what I was just listening to myself. So you always kind of fall victim too to being like wanting to make music for where you're from and who you're around. I just don't think that was resonating as the right choice of an album for me to make, and I'm so glad that I decided to just scrap that and write a personal story instead.
Sure, and if you named it Delirium, we wouldn't have been able to do the hotel challenge, and then where would we be?
I think that it was just the worst fucking. Even when I say it over right now, I'm just like, what a fucking idiot. What a dumb. I don't know. I think we can all just we can all laugh at me for that one. That was usually I have the answer. That was clearly one of the times I did not.
It comes when you need it.
That's what she said.
Sure. So then, so we love those questions, and Kels, thank you so much for making time for today. Thank you everyone who submitted. And then to finish off, one last question for you, Kels. Is there anything you want to say to the EST Discord community?
Um, I let me. Well, I would say to you specifically, Madison, we could use so many more MGK, like pro MGK fans in the journalism community. It is so important in the constant running narrative of an artist to have people championing artists, as you can see, from the Lana Del Rey's to just so many people that clearly fans of those artists are now in charge of the narrative, and so we could use a lot more MGK support in that. As you know, we're fighting daily online battles all the time, and online is where so much of what people perceive about an artist comes from. So I wish you a lot of luck in your career. You're very grounded and well researched in your talking, and you were a great mediator for this. So I'm very grateful to have had you a part of this call. And then for EST, I mean, you guys, look, I hope that you're feeling the resurgence of uh, just even saying the name out loud, right? Like EST is just so present in my music. It's so present in my daily life with how I try to interact. And, I think it's time to rebuild the community. I'll use kind of some. I'll use a classic group of people like the Sunshine Ragers down in Florida who just took EST and made their own family out of it down there, almost kind of like a motorcycle club. Like it's. I encourage the regrouping and reestablishing of the individual sub communities of the grandiose brand of EST. Like I think the sub communities are really important. Grow your areas into being not just fans of an artist, but of a lifestyle and the lifestyle being one of like harmony and community and commonalities of loves that you guys have for things and getting together and like doing essentially what we do on like July 4th or on holidays where we get together, we cook food, we talk about things. If there's things that we can solve together, we do it. And just even like me, where I get together with my boys and we go ride bikes, we hop on our motorcycles and we mob around and just like, a form of connecting. So I really encourage that to kind of come back. And yeah, I mean, I love you all. Sorry, the beginning of the phone call started off rough. That was a very interesting and unexpected activity. And
Glad you're
yeah,
okay and we got to hear from
yeah,
you.
for sure. And I love you all. Hotel Diablo for life. You already fucking know. I love you guys.
Thank you, we love you, and thank you so much. This was literally my career dream was to interview you, and now it's happened, so thank you so much for that.